Welcome back, everybody, to the NFC East podcast. We got most of us here tonight. Tonight, we are missing Chris Topher Peterson away for his daughter's birthday. Happy birthday, Piper, Haley, Clover. I'm not sure whose birthday it is, but wish you all the best. Hope you're having a good time over there at the Peterson household with some cake. So save me some cake. I love cake. Let's get into a week 5 recap with the guys we do have here. We got Greg representing the Eagles with a tough loss to the Broncos this week, 17-21. We got Paul representing the Redskins after a big win out in LA. Not predicted by Paul, but you got the win anyway, 27-10. We got Randy, who is pretty darn excited to be 500, I think, when the Dallas Cowboys getting a big win, putting up 37 points to 22 against the Jets. And Chris's team, unfortunately, went down to the second worst team in the NFL, the New Orleans Saints, 14-26, after he guaranteed yet his fourth or, I guess, fifth consecutive win in a row. Failed again.
And they were going to kill him.
In the internal competition... Yeah, they were going to do lots of things. In the internal competition, we had team win as a category. So obviously, just said Dallas and Washington got wins this week. So a point for each of you guys. Plus or minus in the turnovers, we had Dallas at +1 and Washington at +1. So another point for Dallas and Washington there. And then Dallas goes ahead and sweeps the week. In the third category, we had QBR and Dak, who has just been crushing it despite losing his top receiver and some offensive linemen, I think, even throughout the way this year early. Crushes it with 87.9 on QBR. So Randy gets the sweep for the week, picking up 3 points. 2 points for Paul and the Commander Redskins. Nothing for Greg this week. Actually, Greg went backwards, slid down -1 because of a bad word or something on the last episode. So for the year, we have Dallas and the Redskin Commanders at 5 leading the way. Greg just behind with the Eagles at 4. And Chris also, if he could just stop cursing on these episodes, might have more than 1 point. But for right now, he's got 1 point bringing up the rear.
Hey, Randy, what word did I say? Do you remember?
Boy, I'm trying to remember. Was it something
I think he's
Beaver
trying to trick you.
Bills? Was it something Beaver Bills? I mean, shoot. I'm
Sorry,
pretty
Mike.
sharp.
Sorry to
I was
interrupt,
brought up
Mike.
in a really good household.
That was a good effort. That was a good effort.
I think you said it was like cheese and rice or something like that.
Randy, I think you, I mean, Paul had a good week too, but Randy, you had the best week. Why don't you lead us off here?
Very, very fun to watch football right now. I know our defense is not top 10, top 15 defense, but the offense is so fun to watch. I heard a couple guys talking about Dak Prescott being in conversation for most valuable player this year. Again, I'm not completely sold on Dak being a top tier $60 million a year quarterback, but he's definitely playing his mind out. Out of all the people on that team, him and Javon Williams are playing unbelievable. It's so cool to watch. It's again, I said it last week, they're playing with heart. They absolutely are. They're playing every drive like they have to get a touchdown. A lot of times they do. It's fun to watch. It makes it for a really good game. Better now that we're getting actual wins. We're going through a spew the next 4 or 5 weeks of playing some pretty garbage teams, which we should be able to pile up some wins on. Carolina coming up. I'm pretty excited about where we're going to be going to until the gauntlet at the end of the year. But no, I love the way we're playing right now. The defense, like we actually got a takeaway win on this one. There was a bunch of sacks. It looks like the defense is starting to get some stuff figured out. I do think, weirdly enough, if you look right now at Kenny Clark versus Micah Parsons, Kenny Clark is making a bigger difference right now than Micah Parsons. Sorry, it's just true. And we got 2 first-round picks out of it. Again, don't expect that to continue all year, but straight up, I just do not see. Is there a couple of guys frozen right now?
No.
Nope, just you.
Okay. I am very excited to see, again, Jadeveon Clowney coming in. There's a lot more talk about
Oh, wow,
additional
everybody
players
froze for me.
potentially getting added yet. What's that?
Wait, has he
everybody
played
froze as soon
yet?
as you said that.
Has he played a snap yet?
You're talking Jadeveon Clowney, I assume, Mike. He actually played a couple snaps 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Last week he was in for, I think, 19% of the snaps, the defensive
Look
snaps.
at you throwing those stats out. I like it.
Again, don't quote me on that. I know they're feathering him in more and more. I'm not really as excited about him as I am about Kenny Clark right now. But again, there is things happening right now on defense that are actually pretty cool to watch. Top that off with a big W, as I predicted, in Philadelphia this week. Again, you guys, I do feel like are in for a rough stint. It was a matter of time. The way you guys are playing, and Greg, you of all people should be knowing this because you were one of the first people to call out your team when they were playing crappy. They are not playing good football this year. Again, all of a sudden they had an offense, but their defense absolutely disappeared in this game. You of all people were the one person 2 years ago that when the defense was doing bad or when the offense was and they were barely winning, you're like, this is getting scary. Don't be a typical Eagles fan and revert back to being all butthurt. Listen, you are better than that, Greg. I believe in you. I believe you can step out of the fray of the filth of Philadelphia and admit your team is not playing well right now. Again, I feel like your baseball team and your football
no.
team
We're not
follow
going,
the same
We're
path.
not doing this. We're not doing this.
0-2 in baseball. You lost your first football game. I feel like it's a downward spiral in the city. At some point, that city's going to burn. Not going to go too far into your Washington game. Nice win. I, by the way, predicted correctly that if your boy was playing, that they
who you have no idea what
Come on.
his name is.
What's his name?
I wanted to say Caleb, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden Daniels.
Hey.
Not Blue, Jaden Daniels. If Jaden Daniels is going to play, they were going to win. He played pretty good football. Again, your defense really showed up last week, which is cool.
My notes say that you said they had to have both Jaden Daniels and McLaurin to win.
Oh,
well,
Randy.
I might have got that slightly wrong, but I was close.
Okay.
I was close. Okay. And I'm not going to ride Chris too hard because he's not here, but how do you lose to the worst team in football? I mean, I guess the Jets might be the worst team, but that was awful. Again, I know they're looking better. They're showing flashes.
I can tell you how.
They're how?
You had 5
You
turnovers
turned
in
the
a
ball
5
over
possession
5
span
times.
in a
Sure.
row.
Your stud running back, once again, has less than 4 yards per carry. You have 206 air yards, incomplete air yards to wide receivers. That's the second highest by any quarterback to wide receivers on the year. Their stud receiver room only had 68 receiving yards, and their stud quarterback only threw for 5.1 yards per attempt. Those are ridiculously low numbers.
But just talk about weird games and weird weeks. I mean, again, I know there's the Eagles losing, but last night watching Patrick Mahomes go down to Trevor Lawrence, and I think the craziest game of the week by far was the Arizona Cardinals Tennessee game and how they lost that game. Unbelievable football this weekend. Some just crazy ends of the games. And honestly, probably some of the most fun I've had watching football the past couple of years.
I lost a survivor entry on that dang on Cardinals game. What
that
a
was
mess.
Unbelievable, dude. I mean, they were going to go up 3 points with 3 scores of 12
3
minutes
scores
left.
the fourth quarter.
And he fumbles it into the end zone out of stupidity. I mean, just in the last 12 minutes, I don't think you could have coached a worse 12 minutes of football. I've never seen a team fall apart.
We were close. If that counts, we were close.
If that's not a good segue,
true.
I don't know what is. Get in there, Greg.
I mean, I don't know what to say. It was a bad weekend all around. And when I say bad weekend all around, I think I was 0 for my picks. Everyone was completely wrong, minus the Dallas win. I picked
got Dallas, and I got to give you a special shout out because you threw an over in We never get over-unders on this show, but you gave us an over that hit.
1 for 7's not bad, I guess. I don't know. It was horrible. It was a bad weekend. Yeah, you want to bring up the Phillies stuff. Okay, whatever. Yeah, the Phillies look bad. We were in every game, and it was just bonehead decisions, in my opinion, by Topper that blew both of those games. The fact
Hey,
that
last week somebody else wanted to talk Phillies, Red October.
I'm getting it out. I'm sorry. I apologize. Randy brought it up. I'm just saying, it was a bad weekend. And then you top it off with the Eagles, and it was just, oh my gosh, again, a tale of two halves. You are up 17-3 going into the fourth quarter, and all of a sudden it's just like we don't know how to put your foot on their throat, and it's like we want to try to, I don't know what they're doing. I know we need a new offensive coordinator, or we need someone new coming in to do the play calling. The fact that we had 9 rushes, everyone's like, let Jalen throw it, give AJ the ball, give Devontae the ball. I mean, Hurts threw for 280 with 2 touchdowns, and we lost the game.
Both of your receivers are both livid. Even Devontae Smith apparently is livid. So no one was running in the right direction.
It drives me nuts. And Randy, I'm going to be honest with you. Right now, we are playing horrible football. I think it starts with the coaching. I really do. I think, it's a top-down approach. Nick Sirianni is not a play caller. He is a general manager coach. He's a rah-rah guy. He's not going to call plays, and then we give it to Patula, and we just we want to think that everything's going to be fine. This guy has no experience as a play caller. We lost our 3 offensive coordinators the last 3 years. They were all experienced, and we were like, let's give it to this guy. It will be great. But honestly, taking a step back and looking at it, our defense is not playing well right now. I think our defense is ranked mid-20s in the league. The guys up front are not getting off the ball. Our defensive line, they're not getting off tackles. They're not getting off blocks. Our offensive line is not playing together. Landon Dickerson is a beast, and he wants to be out there every week, but he's hurt. You cannot play hurt. You play hurt, you're going to injure something else. And now he's down a knee and then a foot, and it's just like we're plugging the holes. And for 4 weeks it worked. We got away with it, and now it's like we have to have a come to Jesus moment. There was missed calls. I'm not going to blame it on the refs. There was 4 or 5 missed calls that I look at that I'm like, that definitely could have changed the game. But it's mind blowing. I don't know what intentional grounding is anymore. I have no idea what it is. We have him in the grass. We are tackling him. He's in the pocket. He throws it, does not get to the line of scrimmage. His tight end is 20 yards away from the ball when it lands, and they throw the flag. Oh, cool. Intentional grounding. That brings up 4th down. They don't score that touchdown where they went for 2 and went up 1 point. That doesn't happen. Instead, they pick up the flag saying their tight end was in the area. He was literally 20 yards away, running away from the ball, but he was in the vicinity apparently. And then we had a bonehead play with Vaughn, who's the running back. They're back up, their scat back. He gets tackled and then comes up, escapes the tackle and then goes down again. So Vaughn comes in just in case he gets back up. 15-yard penalty. That extends that drive. So we finally get the ball back, and I'm like, oh man, okay, we got to score a touchdown. We're down 4, and we're driving, and then it's we throw it to Goddard to the 2. He gets grabbed. He gets thrown to the ground. No flag, and it's what is going on here? And then the last play might be the craziest bonehead decision that I think we've made.
Hey, AJ Brown, I say make him the next 2-way player. Make him the next 2-way player. The next Travis Hunter.
He throws it to the corner of the end zone where Smitty and AJ are. Smitty goes up for the ball. AJ grabs behind him, pulls him back down, while Jalen Hurts is sprinting towards the end zone
to try and catch his own pass.
Apparently, they're going to tip it back to Jalen, and Jalen's going to catch it. What is going on? So apparently, they had a come to Jesus moment where AJ Brown, Saquon, and Jalen Hurts got in the room after everything Monday, got together and talked about it. It got ugly. Got to the point where Jalen was called out by AJ. We look at the tape. AJ stopped running on that one deep pass. He stopped running and then started running again, and Hurts overthrew him. So, of course, the media in Philadelphia, what they love to do is just pick it apart. And
Insight.
Basically, AJ was like, he overthrew me. And they were like, you didn't quit on the ball? I don't quit on balls. He overthrew me. And it's like, you got Barkley throwing Patula under the bus without trying to do it. Like, it's just a hot mess. And they got together. So I am going to hope, we're going to New York. I am going to hope that we get the bus together. I mean, you look at the game, again, it was a tale of two halves. The calls, I'm not blaming it on the refs. You should have never put yourself in that situation. But you have to attack. When you're up on any team by 14 in the NFL, it is not good enough. And this weekend proved it. Randy said it with the Cardinals game. You got Carolina getting another win. You got Houston just dominating Baltimore. Like, that's what you have to do, is what Dallas did, is go in against these inferior teams and just beat the crap out of them. And that's what we have to do. Great win for the Dallas Cowboys. They did what they had to do, and that it was good. Washington went out there and took care of business. Like, it is not looking good for us when other teams are going out doing what they need to do. And here we are, we think, well, just because we're the defending Super Bowl champions, it's going to come easy to us. No, every team wants to come into our place, or when we come visit them, beat the snot out of us, and until we get an identity again, it's not going to be pretty. And I don't know, hopefully that identity comes. It happened after a bye week last year, so hopefully it happens this week against the Giants and we get an identity. Until we start winning the line of scrimmage, AJ wants a trade, wants this, he wants that. Newsflash, we're not getting rid of him. We owe him way too much money. His contract is too stout. The only way we're doing it is in the offseason. So it is what it is. You gotta have that moment where it's like, dude, shut up. We'll trade you in the offseason. Come out and perform. I don't know what it is. He got a ring and now he wants to just be the dominant best player on the field. I get that. But like, if games are going to dictate, and that's what, I was talking about this weekend to a couple of friends, the defense is going to dictate what you can do. If they put 6, 7 in the box, guess what you're going to do? You're going to throw the ball. If they put 4 or 5 in the box, you're going to run the ball. That's just how the NFL works. And it's all about change. It's all about, playing chess or checkers, however you want to look at it. You have to make a move. And our offensive coordinator, Patula, is not making moves. He's waiting till halftime. And he's not, that's the adjustment. He needs to make adjustments on the fly. And we don't have that ability. And until he gets that ability or someone helps him with that ability, it could be ugly.
I think the adjustment was your problem, obviously. You were great as a rugby team through 4 games. This week, they obviously made a huge adjustment and it didn't get it done.
Sucks.
I mean, there's
9 rushes.
There's a couple things. There's a couple things, Greg. And the one is, Jalen was sacked 6 times for whatever, 50 yards or something like that. The one thing you were saying your defense. I think your defense actually played fine. The problem you had is your offense didn't score for over 2 quarters. Like, not at all.
Agreed.
Not just not score. They didn't move the ball. Like, the one thing that is different this year, if you put a nail in it, I think, is Eagles have not been able to run at all this year. Their run game is gone.
That's what I was going to say. Is I don't think that it's not that you're not trying to do it. I think you really can't run the football for some reason.
So the O-line is not playing together. It's not. Yeah. And when you lose Mekhi Beckham, your right guard, who's 6'6", 330, and he's should be a tackle, but he's playing right guard, it's going to hurt. And they didn't re-sign anybody to fill in that spot. I got to put that on Howie. We thought we were okay. Landon Dickerson's coming off of injury. He thought he was going to be fine. And he is, like I said, walking wounded every week. And until you get that line to play together and gel together, we're going to give up 6 sacks. We're going to only run for 70 yards. It's horrible. That's where we got to win, in the trenches, on the line. And we haven't proved that we can do that yet.
Well, speaking of walking wounded, let's go up to Paul and find out if Jaden is going to be taking off that monstrous brace off his knee anytime soon, because I'm hoping the answer is no. You play the Bears this week.
Yeah, thanks. I'm aware. Oh, and, a 1-2-1-2 FU to you for, of course, just crapping on my team as usual for no reason. Again, no reason. But first I want to comment on Randy. Love the enthusiasm today and your energy today. It's very clear that I guess you were like, we saw your Oreos. I'm pretty sure you just did 4 lines of Oreo dust before you got on, but it worked. Your words were making sense. You made good points, and I could understand what you were saying, and you were swallowing the spit in your mouth. It was great.
Well, thank you.
Greg? Yes.
Wow. A lot of
praise.
Greg,
what a compliment. That's the closest thing to a compliment I'll ever get from you, I think.
Greg, I think that you're realizing what some of us have been preaching about your team the whole year. Not screaming at you about it, not screaming and all that stuff, but telling you, I honestly thought, I agree with Randy that your defense didn't play as bad as the offense, even though if you look at the offensive numbers, they kind of look like that should have been the highlight, but it really wasn't. It's how you put it together. I thought the defense was going to be the issue this whole year, but I don't understand how you can't figure it out. I mean, I don't know, maybe Saquon was spending too much time on his documentary talking about how he requested a trade from the Giants finally, and they absolutely said no. The owner said no, or what? But
I'm going to pull a Chris and say it's our injured offensive line. I really am.
And I'm kind of with you, but I thought the losses in the offseason on your defense was going to be crucifying to you, and it's not. It's figuring out what your identity is on offense. And I can't believe how a team of your stature and the record and what you're just coming off, the season you just had, how everybody could hate each other. I have no idea. Like, what in the world? What do they all want? What could you possibly want more?
Not everybody hates each other. There's one person who is disgruntled and upset, who is making 1 or 2 other people disgruntled and upset. Let's just put it out.
I understand that, but it's also the one person that's on every team that does that. It's always this. It's always the wide receiver. There's the big, like strong-willed wide receiver. Like, we saw it last night, Stephon Diggs.
But he has changed. I will tell you what, that man has changed over the last 5 years.
Yeah, no, he has changed for a few games. He's going to go right back to what he was before. They're all like that,
I think he's a changed man. I really do.
And I feel very privileged to have somebody like Terry McLaurin, who has never acted like any of these clowns before. That was amazing to watch what you did. I cannot believe. I mean, that was like Tyreek Stevenson bad last play of the game, like by AJ Brown. That was unfathomable. It literally looked to me like that scene from Fresh Prince where Will Smith and Carlton, they're on the basketball team together. Yeah. And Will Smith's awesome. And Carlton steals it from him just so he can shoot it and just like airballs it. Like, like, what are you doing? We had it. I did see Jalen running up and I thought that was hilarious. I mean, I want to check his 40 time because he was running like 35 yards and the split second right after the ball was whatever happened to it. He was right there in stride. Like he was there. Your play was not going to work, but it was going to be like, oh my gosh, what just happened? What were they doing? That was like, that was more
not going to work.
And it's not, if you want to call like last year, a couple of years ago, you had the Philly special against Tom Brady. On Sunday, you had the Philly special ed, and that's what that was. The Philly special ed. Yeah, I'm calling it.
Good play call, right? By Petula?
Yeah. You said chess and checkers. My man has never won a game of tic-tac-toe. So
wow.
As far as the Cowboys game, you did good. And, every show yesterday and today has been saying there's the top 3 MVP candidates that obviously no one would have seen any of them coming. Dak Prescott being one, but he's obviously the most likely candidate, already getting MVP chance, which, you do need to slow the brakes here.
Week
It's an
5, guys.
April championship right here. For anybody who's ever won one of those. But yeah. I mean, it was ridiculous. And obviously the other two, like I think the number one person right now is probably going to be Daniel Jones, and nobody can really say squat about it. And I'm loving. I'm just going to ride with Baker Mayfield because it's not like he's had like a comeback season. Like he's a comeback kid, like he had injuries or come back from like all this crap. No, he just come back from like actually getting away from the Browns is what happened.
Yeah.
So, props to him. He's fun to watch him. He's a loudmouth. I could only imagine what he would look like if he was a wide receiver. He would be the diva ruining your team right now, but he's not. So he's literally getting praise for everything he does. But he's fun to watch, and so is that team. Our game. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say our game. I was definitely surprised. There was one play that turned that around and would never look back, and it was a defensive play. Marshawn Lattimore knocked the ball out of Justin Herbert's hands, and they ran it back a bit. We were about to go down 17-0, and I don't know if we would have come back from that. It's clear that Jaden needed a couple quarters to get right, but short game was working. He was throwing long balls, hitting like Luke McCaffrey for crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Everything was working. Everything looked great. Yeah, he does have a brace on there. I know he doesn't need it. He knows he doesn't need it, but the doctors are like, it's kind of like Sean Alexander. They're like, this time you have to wear condoms. You have to wear condoms from here on out.
I just want his mobility limited, and that brace does enough of that for me.
I mean, it looked pretty darn good for sure. The running game, the thing that we do every couple of years is whenever we get a good running back in the draft, which I think we draft running backs pretty well. We're not getting like amazing. We're not drafting Zeke like how the Cowboys did, or Saquon. Of course, we're also not drafting him in the top 10 either. But we don't have those level of running backs we drafted, but we draft decent amount of good running backs that are very serviceable. But we never sign them to extensions, and I mean, that's not a completely unpopular opinion around the NFL anyways, but, got rid of Brian Robinson, and I kind of raised an eyebrow a little bit because he was he was a crowd favorite for sure. And a feel good story and all that kind of stuff. So it kind of raised an eyebrow. And then Eckler went down. I was like, all right, well, I'm not sure this is going to work out because as I always preach for us, at least, you're only going to open the passing game if you can run the football. So I wasn't 100% sold on the three guys that we have left because they were 3, 4, and 5 on the list, not 1 and 2. But kid Bill looks great. I hope that's a coming out party and it's something that he continues. That looked amazing. He did everything right. We did have he did have a turnover, which he literally I thought he was going to jump off the edge of the stadium for, but love the passion that the kid has, and I loved how we played in the defense. We had 5 or 6 sacks on Herbert, interception and a fumble recovery. So I mean, I think overall we played really well once we decided to start not playing well.
Herbert got hammered.
Yes, like he was hurt. Like I was waiting for him. And the crazy thing was now Amari and Hampton, I don't know anybody in a fantasy league that would take like my first like 4 or 5 picks in the draft are all guys that are this year or last year. Like anybody that's got Hampton, Bowers, Neighbors, all of them, you pick them all on one
He's talking
team.
about me.
Yeah. And then you lose by 60 some points this week.
Wow.
So yeah, I was a little surprised. This is kind of like the Terry McLaurin thing. I didn't know Amari Hampton really got hurt yesterday until they just all of a sudden say he's on IR. But I'm surprised Justin Herbert. I mean, he had to be in the cold tub, the hot tub, massage thing.
Man.
I mean, I can't even imagine it. He looked like he was getting destroyed. I'm surprised he's not hurt worse. But
even when he wasn't getting sacked, quote unquote, he was still on the ground. It seemed like every play it was, I don't know.
Yeah. And then for the last thing for the Giants game, I mean, I said it last week that, DJ had a down game. And so Dart was able to revive, the one game for the Giants. Well, universe is right again. So now Daniel Jones had another bomb game and Jackson Dart had one of the, I don't know how you get into a sophomore slump after one game, but he literally got into it. That was ridiculous.
Think he's ready? He's NFL ready, right?
I loved him in college. Like, I mean, I loved Dak Prescott when he was in college too. I loved him in college. No one, he should not have started this entire year. They screwed
Now,
him up by
what?
getting people like Russell Wilson. You needed to get somebody that was going to have some staying ability.
Well,
I mean,
I'm
the
like,
worst thing
why
they
don't
could
they
have done.
start Jameis Winston? Like, well, they got Winston still. Like, why not give him a shot? You got. I don't know. I think the whole thing of trying to force Dart just is really backfiring.
No, well, they're going
They're
to kill
trying
him
to sell
because
tickets.
it's the yes, and I mean, and they threw everything that they could to win the game last week, and they did. They threw every little quirk and anything they could do. That was because
Mm-hmm.
none of it was like a real game plan. It literally was like, go out there. There's 11 of you. You go figure it out. You know, everybody was trying to read
Mm-hmm.
everything and just do it on the fly. And then this week, that just didn't work. You try and actually run an offense, and it just ran him into the ground. He couldn't throw. They couldn't catch. Well, the Giants couldn't catch. The other team could, obviously. But I mean, it was atrocious. I had to stop watching the game cast on it.
Yeah,
It
somehow
was so bad.
Spencer Rattler looked unbelievable. Like, the
Hey,
first game I've
he had a
ever
nice.
seen him look that good.
And I agree with that because I never saw him have a good game at any of the colleges that he switched around to. And he didn't switch around like Dart when Dart was pretty good and going to college from college and starting at USC. Spencer Rattler was literally garbage. They were like, oh, he's going to be awesome. Well, he sucked. Well, now you're going to take a step down and you're going to go here. Well, now he sucked there. So now he's going to go here, end up with at South Carolina and pretty much suck there as well. But that game was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that one pass he had for the 75 yards to Rashid Shaheed or whatever, that was amazing. Game was
Mm-hmm.
over at that point. Game was over. The momentum shift. It was. I'm not going to say it was glorious or anything like that, but it was very unexpected. You should have seen. I mean, those kids. We'll call them kids. They had no idea they were going to win that game. It was great to watch the Saints win that game. They're not going to win another one again, unless they get to play the Giants again somehow. But
Let me take a 10-second stab at what Chris's rebuttal would have been.
Try it.
We should have. Scatterbo was awesome. Dart was awesome. Our defense was incredible. I'm always right. You guys don't know nothing. Eagles suck.
You follow the
Did I
national
miss
media.
anything?
You follow
F
the
you
national
minus
media.
one. After you
What
minus
else?
one.
All right, I think we covered it, Chris. It's good to have Chris represented here tonight. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back for the second half. Look forward to week 6.
What up, everybody? The Beard is here. Hey, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our sponsors, the law offices of William P. Harrington. Credit card litigation, Chapter 7 bankruptcy, estate planning, estate administration, guardianships, they do it all. As a member, listener, follower, supporter of our network, they are offering you a 15% discount on these services. So if you are in the Pennsylvania or New Jersey area, schedule your free consultation today.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening. Just a few quick reminders for everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And check out our fellow podcaster, Jim Montgomery, with This Day in Philly Sports History. Thank you.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're back. Going to look forward to week 6. Let me give a quick rundown of the matchups and the lines for the week. First, we have a big interdivision matchup. We got the Philadelphia Eagles favored by 7.5 going up to New York against the Giants, the G-Girls. We got Dallas favored by 3.5 going to the Carolina Panthers. And we got Washington somehow favored by 4.5, even though they're going to lose this game, to the Mighty Bears. That game is in Washington, I believe. Don't matter. They're still getting crushed. So that is our matchups for the week. Let's get us 3 categories for the internal competition. Let's start spinning them wheels. We're going to find 3 new ones for us to work with, if the producer wants to. He's a little shy this week because we gave him a hard time. And now he's like, you guys give me a hard time.
Gotta take the safety off now. It's ready.
We give everyone a hard time.
Oh, that didn't take
Get there.
long.
Get
Prop
there.
bet.
All right. We're going to come back to that in a minute. I need a second. We're going to spin the wheel 2 more times, and then we'll decide what the prop bet is going to be.
That
for any
is
single
just so you
player,
know,
right?
that was single player prop bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's whatever I
Receiving
want.
yards.
Oh.
Any
Was that
single player receiving
single
yards.
player?
Interesting.
Okay.
I'm definitely not
Anybody
taking
want to bet?
AJ Brown.
Anyone want to bet that it's under 75 yards? Whoever it
It could
is.
be, actually.
No way.
Uh,
Dallas is throwing the rock.
It's not single
Is CD
reception.
coming back?
Yeah, dude.
Sacks
I
for the
mean,
defense. I'll take
George
that. I'll
Pickens
take
is
that all day
playing
long.
against
Yeah,
Caleb.
All right,
I guess we're gonna get that. So
my host pick is going to be which team has the most players with at least one catch. So you get 8 guys that get a catch, and everybody else has 6, 5, 4. You get the point. Most individual players with a catch with at least one reception. So that's going to be our three. We got reception yards. We got receptions, most players with a reception on the team, and we got sacks by a single player. Paul, you closed the first half. Why don't you lead off the second?
sure, we're sweeping, mofo. We're sweeping.
Wow.
Sacks, I'm pretty confident in right now. Your team blows, and we're gonna smack the paint off that kid's fingernails. As far as
I see, looking back, I see that you got exactly 0 of your picks right last week. So I'm
Wow.
not the slightest bit concerned of your predictions here. Go on.
that's fine. We can still, if I get all of these wrong, it's still going to end up with a big fat L for you. We'll
Okay.
take sacks. I'll do receiving yards for receivers because there's a ton of people that will get at least one reception. They always do. We got 2 guys in the backfield and like 4 out in the field, and maybe some guys still. Somebody's new every single week. I'm not confident, and I really don't have any update on Terry yet, so I don't know if he's going to play. But they've
I
really been just
still hold the thought process that is never good. You know, like
Depends how you look at it.
Chris saying we got 3 quarterbacks, we got 3 running backs. You want to tell me you got 10 wide receivers? That means you don't have any.
Oh, I
True.
agree. I'm not saying it's a great thing. I'm just saying there's people
Okay,
we
all
distribute
right.
it to that there's going to be like, there's every week I'm like, not really sure who that guy is, but I'm glad he was in there for that one catch. No, I mean, trust me, there's a couple of
I don't-
guys. I mean, everybody has that team, but like we always have somebody new, and I was like, go team. Some tight end I've never, heard of, or somebody that, is 100% a blocker, and all of a sudden they
Miscellaneous
got him.
player.
Yes. No, I'm not saying it's a game plan. I'm saying it's just an actuality. I would love to have Terry McLaurin out there. I think that would open Debo up even further. But it has given
What's his
some.
status? I do not know.
Really? I guess you were just waiting to tell me that it was not a game plan for us to be like that, because you obviously weren't listening when I said specifically I had 0 update on Terry and I had no idea.
Okay.
But
Carry
I
on.
mean,
Carry on.
yep. And actually receiving yards, I will, I yelled sweep because I just, it was first thing that came to mind, had a Chris moment, but no, I think receiving yards for single player is going to go to the Cowboys because of our random
Unfortunately, you're right.
sporadic distribution. As far as the games,
Because of that MVP. Tell him, Randy.
yes.
Oh, yeah,
and actually
absolutely.
because of that MVP,
Jonathan Mingo might be getting a start this week.
No, all right, never mind. Randy,
Yep.
be quiet.
yeah.
It's true.
But I think your line is way off. I think it's not even going to be close. I think you're going to win by a lot. I think you're what is it, 3.5, 4.5, whatever it was. I think it's going to be
Yeah.
well over a touchdown that you're going to win by. Your offense is clicking. You don't need.
Mhm.
I mean, you're going to do everything that the Eagles didn't do last week, and it's going to work against a team that you should win against. Carolina does have a couple of good wins, but they're not going to do it again. You're going to, yeah, I know they're 2-3, and you're 2-2-2-2-2-2-2-1 or whatever you've got. Completely 500 in every category or whatever. So I do think you're going to win by quite a bit. I also think that the Eagles are going to win by quite a bit. I think all you got to do is put half of your defense out there, and it's not going to matter what you do on offense. It's not going to matter. But if something were to happen, I say sacrifice AJ Brown. If something has to happen, let's sacrifice AJ Brown. As far as our game, I'd like to see a lot of points. I'll say that. I don't want it to be a defensive game, but I don't like losing at home.
You have the most on the total of the week.
What is it?
Wow.
Actually, second, 50.5. Only Kansas City and Detroit are more points than you guys.
That's would be a fun game to watch too. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's fine. If we don't play defense, that's fine. I do want to see both those teams light it up. Also for fantasy reasons for me and my youngest son as well, who has a couple of connections on here in this game. I think it's going to be a good game though. I'll say it again. I'm looking forward to it. I won't be saying anything during the game like some people like to do. Instead of, I'm going to try and enjoy it. If it's not enjoyable, I'll just leave.
Oh, Paul, I love it. I guess I'll just pick up real quick. I absolutely hate all of the bets. And what I mean by the bets, sack single player. I mean, we are almost dead last, I think, in the league in sacks. So I'm not loving this category. Receiving yard single player, we just ran the ball 9 total times last week. So I don't think we're going to be throwing the ball for 400 yards. So I don't think.
Can you at least admit that can you at least admit your demeanor is complete 180 from what it was last week, where you were just cheesing where it was 4-0. 4-0.
Yeah, we got the loss and now I'm bitter. Yeah, it's a big thing. I told you, like, you throw in a little Philly loss with some Sixers news and the Eagles lose the game and Philadelphia
2 for the Phillies.
Yeah. Shut up, Paul. Yeah, and most players with a catch.
End of a dynasty.
Stop.
Best weekend in sports in years.
Listen, let me finish. Most players with a catch. It stinks because I hate to agree with Paul. I never like to agree with Paul, especially when he goes 0 for 6. At least I got 1 right last week. But Paul's right. I think Washington, I think that you had 9 or 10 players with targets last week. Like, you're like the old school Eagles where Donovan McNabb would give 10 people like 4 targets or 1 to 5 targets at most. So I think I'm going to lose that category too, because it's going to be Goddard with a catch, Smitty with a catch, AJ Brown with maybe 1 or 2 catches, and
that's it.
That could be it. Maybe Barkley. We'll get 4. But as far as the picks go, I think that this is going to be pretty easy. I think the Cowboys are going to crush Carolina. However, no, I'm not going to waffle. I think they're going to win. Then win big. I hate the fact that it's a week-to-week league and they're just going to. I hate it. But I'm taking the Cowboys minus 3.5. I would love to see a good game down in Washington. I think the Bears can hang with them, but I think Washington is a better team. I think the Bears have a chip on their shoulder and are still fuming from last year's miracle in Washington, D.C. So I think the Bears do come to. I'll take the 4.5. I'll take the Bears plus 4.5.
Damn right.
And I think
Doesn't
the
mean
Eagles.
You're winning, clown.
And I think the Eagles crush. I'm hoping the meeting that they had Monday is just everybody comes out and gels. We'll know by the end of the first quarter what's going to happen. And if we come out and Hurts gets sacked 4 times by this impressive, awesome Giants defensive line, where were they the best in the league, I was told earlier, then it's going to be a long night and it's going to be a close game. But if we get out there and we put up 14, we may just put up 45 on them and just hit them with that. So I'm going to take the Birds minus the 7.5 or 6.5, whatever we have them at. And that is my predictions for the league.
Did we just become best friends because you just regurgitated everything that came out of my mouth?
I know. So I just said I hate how I literally said that. But I got the Bears to cover the spread. So
all right, but you also didn't say they were winning. I didn't care anything about the spread. I said we were going to win. There you go. Oh, yeah. And there we are. We are definitely love children now.
This guy. Randy, what do you got?
So I'm going to go with actually the Cowboys for the most players getting receiving. We got Luke Schoonemaker, Jake Ferguson,
Who?
all the running backs usually
Luke who?
catch. Schoonemaker.
Jake
Schoonemaker.
Shoot who?
Oh my
You
goodness, am I
gotta
lagging?
stop. You're not winning that
No,
category.
you're not
like,
lagging. We're just not understanding anything you're saying.
Luke, the two tight ends, Schoonemaker and
Okay.
Ferguson. They're both
not
definitely
aware
going
of
to
the
get a catch.
Shoemaker.
Yeah, and that you
Not
sound
Probably
like
because
Chris.
it's probably
just
like it's
pulling
not his
names
name.
out of the air, like this
No,
guy,
listen,
that guy.
Greg's
he
looking
is
it up. I can see
quietly
it.
one of the
gonna
better
look it up.
tight
I have
ends
to.
right now. Listen, then we got the running backs. They usually all catch one. Like I said, Mingo's in, Tober,
Oh, one of them.
Schoonemaker had
Pickens.
1 catch for 3 yards last week. So
Hey, wait, are we not going to
He
talk
might
He
be
about
had
the
a
fact
catch.
that?
It was a catch.
And we're not going to talk
The
about the
thing
fact
about
that Rico Dowdle's revenge game now after he had 200 yards for the
Oh,
Panthers.
Rico.
Fly me
revenge
a
game.
river, Rico Dowdle. Fly me a river. What I will say
Dwaddle,
is,
Dwaddle.
okay, Dwaddle. I'm gonna finish these picks because I got a lot to say about the games.
I can't wait.
Cowboys player with the most receiving yards, George Pickens should get that. The sacks, I'm gonna go with the Eagles against Caleb Williams or Washington.
Caleb.
I'm sorry, the Eagles against Dart or Washington against Caleb Williams. I don't think Cowboys get that, and I definitely don't think.
Listen, Waffler,
Giants
you
do.
get one pick.
Yeah, you can't take 50% of the field.
Well, I'm going to go with Jackson Dart. He's been sacked 4 times and 5 times back-to-back in weeks here. I know he's one of the
you're going
greatest
with the Eagles.
up-and-coming quarterbacks in the NFL, but I'm going to go with Jackson Dart. I will say all 3 of these games, I think, are possibly trap games. The Giants always play the Eagles tough. Always. Dallas has a tendency to lose games they should win. Every year we have one. Carolina just had a fight to the death game against Miami that they came back 3 times in the fourth quarter to take the lead. That shows, stop making fun of my lingo, English teacher. That, to me, though, Carolina coming back showed a lot of passion. That can be tough. Also, Carolina has, even when they've been bad the past couple of years, always put up a fight. And to me, the Bears and Washington, even when Washington was fairly good, the Bears played you well. 2 years ago,
last year we had like one of the most beloved like Bears die like 2 days before the game. So unless you got somebody else kicking the bucket, I think we're square.
Don't wish that on anybody. Come on now.
But no, I mean, I think the Cowboys win. I do think all 3 of our teams win. I don't think, Greg, you guys are going to cover. I think Giants have always played you guys tough. I think they're going to play you tough till the very end. I don't think you guys cover, but I do think all 3 of our teams win. Those are my picks.
So you gave me 3 trap games, and then you picked none of them to trap.
I'm just saying it wouldn't. I'm not waffling.
I'm just saying
it would
that's
not surprise me.
100%. You just said I think this and this are going to happen.
Waffle.
Yeah, I think this and this are going to happen, but I wouldn't be surprised if that and that happen.
And then you
so
tried
now
to pick 2 teams for a category. You are the biggest waffler of the year so far.
I need to correct you too. Last year, the Eagles went to the Meadowlands or Jet Stadium, we'll call it.
Isn't it 40-0 or something?
We won 28-3.
Okay.
So
sure,
they don't always play.
But what was the other game last year?
That was the end of the year when we had nothing to play for, and I think we lost to them.
I just remember 2 years ago when Giants were horrible and Chris had his little boy.
Don't you remember that one
What's
time, that
his
one
name?
half of football?
Oh, stop. If I were to pick anyone if I were going to pick anyone to be an upset, Greg, don't take this personally, but I would say it would be Washington. Or I'm sorry, it would be the Giants of any of these 3 games.
Your brain is even waffling for you. It's unbelievable.
It does that.
You need an Oreo. You need an Oreo.
That's for later.
Okay.
I'm going to take one more pick. One more pick. I'm going to take Detroit against Kansas City.
So that's going to be a good game. That's going to be a good game.
It's going to be fun to watch.
City heading down the L road with last week's loss. Do you think they're going to lose again?
I just think
That's what he's
Detroit is
saying. He's
playing
going with
so
Detroit.
good at
So
football. I love Mahomes. I love what he's doing, but Detroit is playing
But you know, he
flawless
wouldn't be
football
surprised if KC pulls it out.
right now. They
all
go
right.
nuts.
No Chris tonight, no dumb shit. We're gonna get out of here with a clean show. Appreciate you guys. See everybody next week for week 7.
Go
See
Birds!
y'all.
Shut up, Greg.
Boom, boom, boom.